Hi there. Welcome to my other's keeper. Happy fall. I mean, I'm wearing a tank top, but Mary's
Yes,
wearing a sweater and got blankets around her and I'm just I'm a hot mama.
I
What can I
brought the
say?
fall leaf.
Yes, she brought the foliage
I
and
brought the
I
fall leaf.
am using a fan. And I'm very
Well, if
sneezy,
they
so
go to
please
my
excuse me.
I went ahead today and we drove to see Christina, and there was some beautiful fall leaves. So I just turned the camera around and let people look at our drive and look at all the fall leaves and just
Beautiful.
enjoy the conversation. So we're
Yep.
gonna see some fall leaves and driving through Ohio. I called it
Ah,
7 minutes because I'm all like, it's only 7 minutes on the highway and we're
hey.
running a little bit behind. And I'm like, yes, 7 minutes.
Well, hey,
I'm like,
Crystal,
I
Kristen, Melinda, Daniel, Sandy, Wendy. Hi, everybody. Welcome here. Glad to see you. And so, cookies, 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 cookies. Okay. Tell me about your
yes.
cookies project.
Well, I've kind of started this off a little bit with people to understand why I did this, um, and understanding why connection is so important. Um, we met, of course, you and I did on the lifeboat, but I last year um, had something happen where the lifeboat became real, and I
Mm,
found that by thinking back, it started with Elvis because I
always
wanted
does,
to.
doesn't it?
It always goes back somehow. I wanted to find out a little bit about why Lisa and Priscilla Presley, why she got into Scientology. And
Mm,
that's how I found Tommy because he was doing the whole Danny Masterson thing. And that's how I thought, well, I'm not an addict, but I'll go over there and support the channel and just,
yeah.
support them and check them out. Well, then the connections started building because of that. And in December of last year, I had my aunt who was diagnosed with cancer. It is
Yep.
now terminal, so she's just keeps plugging along. And then I had a family member that chose that they didn't want to be in our lives anymore, so that was another hit all
Mm-hmm.
around Christmas time. And then
Yeah.
the 31st of December and the 1st of December or January is what the anniversary of my grandfather's passing on the 31st and my dad's passing on January 1st. So it's a hard
Wow.
time for me.
For sure.
And we all know Mona from the lifeboat. And she
Mm-hmm.
in the chat said to me, if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. And so we made friends on Facebook. And I can handle panic attacks. I don't like them when I'm asleep, and I don't know when they're coming. Those are no
For
fun.
sure. Oh,
And
yeah.
so I was doing the whole I would have about 3 or 4 of them in the middle of the night. Everybody's asleep, and I'm thinking, "I'm never gonna go back to sleep." And so she, of course, is in Australia. She's, you know, um, you know, uh, hours are different, and I could call her and talk to her for about an hour and finally go back
Mhm,
to sleep. Because I was
mhm,
just trying to process all this loss kind of all in the same month.
mhm.
And then Tommy said that wonderful thing. He said, if you've got something to say, hit the big red button.
Yep.
And that's what I did. I thought nobody's going to pay attention to me. And things started changing. I look back and I thought, I'm not the same person, not the core of me, but things have changed and I have much more confidence. I don't have that tape running through my head that nobody wants to be my friend and all that kind of stuff anymore.
Right.
And so I did the whole thing. I thought I'll never just see where this goes. Well, when I was kind of thinking a little bit of how to do this cuz my dad loved cookies and how do we kind of incorporate this? I kind of got it off of Gail's Fall Fest, but I didn't want to copy that per se. And if
Right.
everybody understands that you all have a channel, YouTube
Mhm.
is different. Facebook is send the friend request, like
Yep.
pages, socialize that way. You all have a channel. It just depends whether you're putting content on it or not.
Right.
People subscribing to your channel, even if you don't have any content is like a friend request through Facebook. How
Yeah.
can I incorporate the people that do not have do not want to put content on their channel, have no desire, but they have a great recipe and they have a great story and they
Mhm.
want to participate. They want to feel like they have that environment and they want to participate. How can I do that? Well,
Mhm.
after I thought about it for a while, I thought if I can put these recipes on shorts and put them on our channel,
Oh, yeah.
people can send them in. My mom came up with a great idea to say, and it's on the form that that it's in. Go ahead and you know, go ahead and tell ask them their favorite Christmas music. So I said, "Give me 3 choices of your favorite Christmas song, make it more personal, give me some kind of a little bit of story and history, and then I
Mhm.
can make a little short." I've already kinda made a one that I can just plug people's recipes in, each one as they come in, and I
Wow.
can make and then the channels themselves that wanna do a video can go ahead and do a video. They can make it as
Mhm.
long as they want. They can do however they want. They can do a giveaway. They don't have to do a giveaway, just let us know. And if they
Right.
wanna take the short and make their own short out of it, we're doing a green background for our channel so that all of
Mhm.
those are on ours. And then we'll do a red the same background, but it'll be red for everybody that wants to do a short, just so that it's all connected. Okay, now
Mhm.
how do we take the connections even further? So now we have done it so that everybody that submits a cookie recipe can go ahead and join our Facebook group called the Blessed Cookie Connection. And now you're going to be able to start building connections through that Facebook group. So as people are coming in, there's going to be a point where there's not going to be anybody coming in. So if
Right.
you think about January all the way through till next October, then we can go ahead and take those 10 months and start fostering those friendships within the group. Poor Kim. I feel bad for her. And so then we can start fostering those relationships within the Facebook group. You know, there is a gentleman, for anybody that's trying to learn YouTube's and the ins and out, there's a gentleman by the name of Kevin Colby. And I love the way he does his videos and explains all his stuff. And I went back about 2 years ago to see some of his videos as I was just crocheting the day away one day. And he did a video and I'm listening to this video and the gentleman that he was streaming with said, "Use the social media as it was intended." He said, "YouTube is only for videos." Okay.
Mhm.
Look how much we've changed in the past 2 years.
Mhm.
Now there's so much more panels, there's live feed, there's connections happening in a way that didn't happen 2 years ago. And he said, There's not community building on YouTube." Yes, there is. That's where people are starting to make friendships and connections. Those are happening there.
On
So,
channels like this and on channels like yours.
yes, and I we love the main hub as far as I consider the lifeboat is the main hub. But
Mhm.
people that are on the lifeboat, if they realize that not all the ripples are going to be their cup of tea, but if they can connect with some of those, if you know, it's just more connection. The more connection, the
Mhm.
better. And
Mhm.
I just thought the only way I can do this hashtag blessed cookie connection, where if you're not a channel, see with
Mhm.
Fall Fest, which was wonderful, you
Mhm.
had to do a video. That was your entry, and it didn't need to be fancy, but that was your entry.
Oh. Mhm.
So if you don't want to do content, are you going to submit a cookie recipe? Probably not, because you don't want to put content on. You don't want to do videos, but you want to
Right.
find a way of participating. So
Mhm.
this is a way of bringing people together that do have content and don't have content. So
Mm.
on our on our on our face or not Facebook on our YouTube playlist, we'll have the shorts that are channels with content, channels without content, and then all of the playlists for the shorts. And then as people do videos, guys, if you are a channel that says I don't want to do a cooking video, you know how we do our cooking videos? We snap pictures as we're making the stuff, and we go on InShot and we piece them together. They don't need to be any fancy dancy thing if you don't want to do it.
Right. I was
Sit
actually
just
thinking tonight it would be fun to actually my recipe that I sent you was scuffles. So that is, you do your dough and then you sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar and then you incorporate it and then you chill it. So it just all infuses with that cinnamon sugar flavor. Oh, it's amazing.
sounds good.
Except it has to be refrigerated. So I'm thinking, okay, if I make the dough the night before and then bring it out, I can bake it while we're talking. Well, last night, not a good night for baking. And yeah, just with my nose as sniffly as it is, I don't think I want to be sniffing and sneezing and doing that while I cook.
So if you are a channel that wants to do a video, you can upload your videos, just tag us in them, put hashtag Blessed Cookie Connection 24, and
Hmm.
then go ahead and put them on after November 26th. So on November 26th after 8 a.m., those videos can start being put up. If you're
Okay.
giving a prize away, let us know so that when we're doing the playlist, we can kind of stack them. So if it's not five give people that are giving away and then we got five others, we can kind of sandwich them in between. That's
Hmm.
up to each channel. And then we're just going to start putting up shorts. What I'm hoping that's going to happen is we're going to take this even a step further and be able to gather all these recipes and those people that say I've given you permission to go ahead and put these in some kind of downloadable form. We're going to do something that's going to be hashtag bless or be a blessing forward. And at the end of the um the the thing or the time, we'll try to put these together. We'll put them on our merch store and make them downloadable. And then any profits that come from that, there's going to be a donation made to the Gary Sinise Foundation. That will be in my dad's
Oh,
name. My dad never pie passed a cookie, so this will always be in his memory.
yeah.
And another little bit of it will also be going to a Broken Hearts Ministry through Gail, who does wonderfully to do all the Fall Fest stuff, but she helps the homeless. And
Okay,
I
so tell
also,
people what the Gary Sinise Foundation is, because
well,
it's amazing.
the Gary
Yeah,
Sinise
I love it.
Foundation helps veterans and helps
Mhm.
people that are serving if they're going through a difficult time. When we moved from Florida to Ohio, um, we toured a house through video chat,
Mhm.
and it was the middle of winter, and the AC could not be turned on to test the AC unit. Our
Okay.
realtor told us that the house smelled like smoke when he first came in, but it went away.
Oh,
No, it was
didn't
not.
go away.
It didn't. The whole they said there was new carpet below, there was not, all that had to be ripped out. When we flipped on the AC unit, there was nothing but smoke smell, and it was dead because they had run this thing while they were trying to fix this house up. So we had moved, Indigo, we had moved, we had done all this expense, and we were looking at it, and mind you, when we moved, it was April, so it was cool. But we had 2 diabetics in the house. We had Jordan, who was a diabetic dog. We had my dad, who was having some, he's had dementia. He was having some health issues. And we were looking at a $9,000 bill.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And we're like, we don't have this. We've done all these moving
Yeah.
expenses. So my sister in law's family member was in the air conditioning business, and they took a discount on us putting the AC, and we had to put a new furnace in,
Right.
and we had to clean all the
Might as
vents
well
and
do
all
them
that kind of
together.
stuff. And then the Gary Sinise Foundation came beside us and also donated half of the cost of the AC. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know what we would have done. We had to get portable ACs to put in the windows because everybody was baking by this point. I mean, it was May. I mean, we were all hot.
Oh, wow.
And so the Gary Sinise Foundation came in a very powerful way for our family, and they
Mhm.
donated half. Um, the air conditioning people took off a percentage because my dad was a veteran. And so I feel like it's the way of giving back to them through this. And I
Mhm.
don't feel like because it's not all of our work that I need to say, okay, we're going to take the profit off of that. I don't
Right.
feel right doing that at all. So we feel like if we are able to get enough recipes where we can put them in and then do a cookbook each year, then we want to be able to do something in appreciation to be able to pay it
That's
forward.
wonderful.
So it's connection, and there's people that say, you don't get subs from shorts. You can, and I want people to realize it has nothing to do with the sub. If you're a channel, if you
Yeah.
make those connections, you're going to get subscribers. It's it
Yeah.
it balances that way all the way.
Mhm.
So I didn't know how else to do this other than this way. I was
Mhm.
I was I thought because if I just say do a video, then there's gonna be people that say, "I don't wanna do a video. I don't wanna start
Exactly.
doing content on my channel." But they've got a
Mhm.
great recipe. Not only that, they have a great story behind that recipe. Their
Yeah.
grandmother and they have memories of them cooking this in the
Mhm.
kitchen, and it becomes, this whole other, you know, uh, story behind it. Or maybe it's just a recipe that's been passed down by generation, and
Mhm.
there's some great stories. So if they want to send a picture, they can send us a picture. I've tried to make the form really easy. I haven't gone
Yeah.
into them. I know people have sent some. I know you did,
Mhm.
but I've been a
Yeah.
little
The
inundated with
form was
some
very
crochet.
easy.
I've been
It
inundated
really
with some.
was.
I'm glad. That's what I was trying to. How do I do this? And I was trying to make it really easy, but I've been inundated with
Mhm.
some crochet projects that have time limits on.
Mhm. If I
So
crunch
I
this, can you hear me?
just a little bit. It's okay. We'll get
Sorry.
through it. You're
Okay.
fine. So I haven't been able to do that, and I'm trying to. I just put the form in the chat so people have the
Mhm.
form that they can go to.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just starting to teach my mom a little bit more on Canva because I'm
Oh.
realizing as we have gotten monetized and there's a lot to do that I need some more help. I can't
Yeah.
continue doing a load all the load. Not that I am, she's doing some, but I need to have her do more. And so
Yeah.
I've tried to make the recipes easy for her to be able to do and us to upload them. And I thought, if people send me the recipes, then I'm going to have to make the recipes. I'm like, no, I don't need all that. That's way too much.
Mhm.
So, all of the recipes in each of the shorts, you can go to the description. They'll all be in the description. I can even put the recipes, in the community post, and so forth. And as they come in is exactly how they're going to go up.
Oh, cool.
So it's just a way to start getting people to connect with each other and taking
Yes.
it the step further and doing the Facebook group where people can then go in and now start talking and making those relationships build. That's
Yep.
even more important because, like I said before, the connections became real in December of 23 when I was in a crisis.
Yeah.
And then when my aunt needed to come up here, those people in the community
They
came
just
together to make it
pulled
happen.
right in. Yeah.
A month later, she took about 2 days of chemo pills and can't tolerate them,
Oh,
and she has very little energy right now, and, the doctors, "I can do no more." So, I don't know if we would have waited even just a little bit of time, whether she would have made it up here and had the energy to do what she's able to do. She was supposed to go see another family relative. She hasn't
mhm.
been able to make that trip yet. So, I'm very grateful she came for when she did, and we got that
Absolutely.
last hug, and it was,
Perfect timing.
my her daughter reached out to me today and said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing fine, and if you need to talk, I'm here." So, she hasn't reached out to me in months, and I was like, "Okay." So,
Nice.
it comes down to that connection. And then
Mhm.
next year, I would like people to start sending in recipes, and we can maybe start having those and putting those up in the channel. Now, we may not be able to make all of them that come in, but we can get on and talk about, I got this recipe and this is what you do, and people can try them, and then we could put them in a cookbook and do something else with that. We
It's a
can
great
find
idea.
some way of giving back. I was in the
Yeah.
store the other day, probably about a week or 2 ago, and there was a lady standing there, and I didn't have anything in my pocket or anything, and to be able to do, but my mom and I were sitting there, and she had to put a couple things back, and my mom looked at me, and we got in the car, she goes, "Mary, you know what would be great?" She said, "Not that I didn't think you could do this. I knew you could if you put your mind to it, because all of the monetization goes to mom. I don't take any of it. I'm just in it for the connection." Told her that from the word get-go. If
Mhm.
we could do enough where we are able to have a little bit in our pockets, so that if we see somebody having to put something back, we could be able to say, or having a tough time, or maybe we see a mother and her children or whatever, or so forth. Maybe
Oh,
they're
yeah.
they're pulling out WIC or something, and we know, I've been there, I've done that. We could say,
Mhm.
"Here's $10," and we could give it to the cashier, and maybe give them a
Yeah.
little card, and go back to that story I tell about Elvis, about the lady in the wheelchair that says, "You
Yes.
know what? Somebody cares." Bring them back to our channel and the lifeboat for
Mhm.
connection.
Mhm.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So nobody's having to do work. You just have to send me your cookie recipes, and we're gonna put it together.
Awesome.
We're gonna put
That's
them up
that
on
yeah.
shorts.
That gives
And
me a great idea. Instead of say cookies, I would do like a holiday theme. So does your family do for this holiday? What foods, what stories, what maybe that's something I could do.
yeah, yeah.
You're inspiring me. I'm inspired. And
Well,
Sneezy.
there's a lot of work on our side, because
Yes.
we're having to take the recipes in, and I I I said to Gail, who did Fall Fest, I didn't want to copy you.
Mhm.
And if I had done it the way she's doing Fall Fest, it would have made it so that everybody would have done it if they had a channel. And I
Mm.
know I look at YouTube very differently than I did before.
Mhm.
If you don't think this is work, it is work. To
Oh, it
get
is.
even where Kim is, to get
Yep.
monetized where I am and this channel is, it's work.
Crystal knows
And
me too well. Write it down, Kim, so you don't forget.
and so, but I know that maybe before I had done, I had, started a channel, I probably would say, "Well, I don't want to do a video. I just want to submit a cookie recipe." So what about people like my mom, who may have a great cookie recipe, and we have the channel, but she doesn't want to be on. She doesn't want to do a video. And I said to Christina, my grandmother had a wonderful shortbread recipe,
Mhm.
so she could take one of her cosplays and take a picture, and I can do, the front of it with a great picture of her and her cosplay, what have you, and she could do a whole video talking about, the cookie recipe and so forth, and
Mhm.
doing that from the cosplay side of it. But, you know, you you don't have to have a channel. I'll still tag your channel,
Uh-huh.
because people can still subscribe even if there's no content on there. That is the
Right.
way that they are sending you a friend request.
Mhm.
And you're
Mhm.
connecting that way, but even we're gonna take it the further and go and start building those connections on Facebook.
That's a
So I just
great
think it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to all the recipes that we're gonna get in. I just haven't gone into that. Yeah, she's feeling
right.
better. We actually saw her for lunch today.
Yes.
We went up because she was so proud of herself. Because she thought she'd never be a cashier, and she wanted me to come and see her work for a little bit, and have me
Wonderful.
check. She said, "I want to just check you out." Well, we found out that she can't do that. That we didn't realize that
A lot
family
of
can't
places
check
they
the.
won't let you do
Yeah,
family. Yeah.
but I said, "You got to at least do it once And then there was a like
Mhm.
a little stuffed they had a little section of little stuffed animals.
Mhm.
So before I left, I got her an animal that looked like Aslan. And,
Mhm.
there was this sweetheart of a lady there. She's kinda like the mama bear of all the cashiers, and her name is Annie, like my grandmother. So I bought
Aw.
it, I put it in the bag, and I motioned for the lady to come over, and I said, "Give this to Christina," and she goes, "Mama, I really need it." I said, "Charge, you can do this." So she was having a little rough day, but she's feeling better. She's
Oh,
trying
that's so
to
good.
she's trying to she's trying to limit what medication she's taking as down the
Mm.
road she wants to, you know go be able to do certain things, and, so she's having to navigate this world without some of the impulse
Mm.
control medications and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
She's doing it. Just people have to understand. And she's
Yeah.
having a wonderful time with the horses. She works at a horse stable, and
Oh,
she is just loving it.
that's wonderful. I
She's
love it.
operating farm equipment and motor vehicles. I know the same
Oh
thing I
my.
but
Tractor.
they're gonna give her free riding lessons. The lady that does this, the instructor and the lady who manages this place wants to get back to the people working there, so she gives them free
Mhm.
riding lessons every month, which I think is just awesome. And
Nice.
I think Christina's gonna be on your channel next week talking about some more
She is
cosplays.
on Tuesday. Yep, on the 29th.
Yeah. So, but
We're
I
gonna be
just
talking about
cosplay
go
stuff.
ahead.
No,
Yep, we're
go
gonna be
ahead.
talking about all things cosplay and just basically what's going on in her life. She'll tell us all about this new job and the horses, and I'm looking
Yes,
forward to chatting
I
with her.
I
She's bursting.
I will leave you some secrets because she's excited about one thing. I know what it is, but I won't tell you. I'll be quiet.
Okay.
But
Okay, I won't say anything.
I have a great cookie recipe that I'm going to try and I'm going to find, and I kind of put up one for a sample of what it was like. So if you're looking um to kind of see what it is, you can go to the live video that says "Let's Talk Cookies," and that'll kind of show you what the shorts are going to look like. But
Mhm.
I did that one as an example, but I am
Mhm.
going to be doing one, and it's going to be a nod to the lifeboat, because I feel like
Ah.
that's how this whole thing started was from them, from Tommy
Mhm.
telling us, "Hit that big red button if you have something to say." And I guess people wanted
Mhm.
to listen.
Sorry, I'm looking for you I don't see it on your page. I'm looking on your page right now.
Yes, it's called Let's Talk Cookies. It's alive. It's probably down further.
It's
And in
alive. Okay.
Christmas, we're going to be doing called Christmas Connection, and I don't know
Yep.
how yet I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give it all my effort that I can. You will see tons of lives scheduled. That's probably why she's having
Mhm.
to scroll the way she is. Um,
Mhm.
and they're all set mainly for 7 o'clock. So the times may change depending on stuff going on because I don't know that far in the future. But,
Right.
whether it's sitting here or whether it's sitting in my rocking chair in my bedroom or whether it's sitting in my bed or however we need to do it, I really don't wanna be outside while it's snowing. If it was Florida, it'd be a little different, but, um,
There's a
the
link
purpose
to your Let's Talk Cookies
yeah, the
video.
purpose of that is so that people can, again, have a place to connect. The holidays are
Mhm.
wonderful, but they can be difficult, and so the more connection that we can do, the better.
That's right.
So it's there and opened up so that people know that they have a place, and I love it when I can sit back and not really have to talk much and see the chat and see people talking and connecting in the chat. That just
Yep.
absolutely warms my heart. Hi, Misha.
Yep.
It just it's exactly what I wanted. It's the niche that I wanted to achieve. Is if you don't
Yeah.
think that YouTube can have a niche of connection, it can, and it
Lately,
shows it
in the
does.
last several weeks, I've just been kind of sitting back. I've been on the channels, I've been watching, but I have not really been engaging a whole lot. And I kind of miss the engagement, but at the moment, I just don't have the energy for it, like the mental energy for it.
I've had to do that.
So, yeah, I'm gonna
I
just sit there and let it feed my soul for a while, and then I'll burst out again.
I've had to do that lately. I think when you become the person on the other side of the screen, there's days where you just have to say, "I'm watching from afar."
That's why I do it 2 days a week,
Yeah.
and that's it. And, I don't you've worked so hard to get monetized. I don't have the energy. Man, I see how much you've had to do. It's like, okay, dude, I cannot be on YouTube that much during the day. I just can't. So yeah, no, I'm hats off to you. Let me tell you.
Well, I did a lot of things like I got into Tuber Chat. I got into a lot of live content and started building connections and started getting on panels. And one thing that helped me was doing a lot of those relaxing lives. I mean, I could get
Mm,
40, 50, 60 watch hours just from sitting there doing, just letting them run. And it was
mm-hmm,
beneficial to other people that were watching it and going back and rewatching it. So the way I grew was getting plugged in
mm-hmm.
and knowing that I think when I saw Mocha and Mocha got 100 or 100 subs within that period, I'm like, maybe this is possible. Maybe
Wow.
it was getting about 150. Maybe it's possible.
Let me not have to get a dog.
And I was sitting
I
there going,
wouldn't mind, but
maybe.
I don't like taking it out to go poop. So,
Well, you know what? There was we had Josh and I went down to the Amish country. There wasn't as many fall leaves as I thought there was going to be.
mm,
And there's a place overlooking a beautiful, beautiful area called Mount Gees, and the sun
mm,
was setting, and I was like, "This is gorgeous," and I took it and I uploaded it into a short, and I thought this is just going to take off.
mm-hmm.
Not yet. It's still bacon.
It's amazing. The ones
It's
we
like-
think are just so special. It's like, "Yeah, it's my baby. Love my baby."
it was
And then this one's
it,
like, whatever. It's
it
boom.
was absolutely gorgeous. This you can see over it over Malibu Farms up there, and it's called Mount Gees,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And actually, as we were coming up the hill, there were people taking, uh, a couple taking uh, wedding or engagement photos and a baby shot, happening. And as we were going up this, there were two horse and buggies in front of us.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And they were chomping up this hill. I mean, they were going because it's a pretty steep hill, and you just sit there. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Gosh, we have to come up here." I thought, I want to come out there one day and just sit and have dinner because it's just absolutely gorgeous with all the fall
Yeah.
leaves happening and everything.
One of these days, I'm going to have to be able to travel down and see you guys and go to Detroit and see
Yep,
Jen Marie
you're
and go
welcome
to
anytime.
Oklahoma and see Misha. And, just every now and then I might even go see Crystal.
You are welcome anytime, and you know that.
Awesome.
So we are doing our monetization party on the 9th. Um,
Mm.
when we were down in the Amish country, Josh got Christmas jam, Christmas jelly. He's donating that,
Ooh.
so we're going to be doing some giveaways, and these are going in our merch store. But I did these to go with the Christmas jam or jelly, and these
Cool.
are the things that go over the oven. So your towels go in here, and you don't have to
Oh.
pick them off the floor 3,000 times.
Oh, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and they have a
Yeah.
little sparkle to them.
I like it.
They're
Oh, that is
fun
so
for
cute.
Christmas, and
Yes.
and these are made out of acrylic handles, so they're really sturdy.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, but we can make these in a lot of different colors. They're great Christmas presents.
Nice.
So we're gonna be doing that and giving away, like, our soap caddies and other things,
Yeah.
and if any channel wants to contribute and participate in that, come right we're gonna party because dang on it,
It would
we
be it
worked
would be
for it.
cool to participate. I just don't know how I would get stuff to you because shipping can be expensive.
Yes.
So otherwise, I'd be more than happy to like
Yeah.
send a painting or two or some jewelry or something like that. Just yeah. I've been doing a lot of preparing for. I have a crafts art sale type thing going on next Saturday, and it's a Christmas theme, of course, but it's probably one of the largest ones that I've done. It's an indoor event, and the reason I say it's one of the largest ones, I've done ones with like up to 200 and something vendors, which is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But this one's only 70 vendors, but it's in a location that will get so much traffic. It's
Yeah.
insane. So I'm
Well,
really hoping it's going to go well.
my mom and I are doing a craft fair on the 16th, and I was supposed to be much more prepared than I am. But our pastor is retiring, and his last
Mm,
service is this Sunday. And
hmm
I said, "Oh, I'll do a blanket." My whole church wanted me to do a blanket, which I did. And then in the
hmm
interim of doing the blanket, somebody said, "Oh, can you do me a blanket for my grandchildren? And I'd like 3 of them, please." So everything that I had
No,
planned
I'm
went
not
right
busy
out
at
the
all.
window. And I didn't realize when Patty left how tired I was gonna be. I was really tired. So my crochet hands are going to be awful busy. I even said it to my audience. I said, would y'all mind if I just turned on the thing and I just crochet and you guys just chit chat within the thing? They said, that's fine.
Absolutely.
So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, uh, it was, we did it with a lot of help from a lot of people. And, now it's time for us to help other people and, by it's we're that's why I didn't want when we monetized, I said to my mom, I don't want to take a break. I want to give a shout out to a channel every day because I
For
remember
sure.
what it was like when I had a channel do it for me. And then, the edge comes is like, well, then you're going to lose the connection because your audience is going to grow and people miss the small chats that happen. And it's like, yeah, I was like I said to my mom, "I don't wanna repeat this work next year."
No, that's
Because
right.
then what happens is you load something that you get 10 hours with, and they take 5 hours away. Like, I don't wanna do
Mm,
this,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So,
And
yeah, I'll have to talk to you about how the building monetizations part works off of this because that'd make it boring. Um, but the nice thing is, even like you see that with the lifeboat, even though
yeah,
there's tons of people, you'll have groups of people who've made their
right,
own little inside group, right?
yeah,
And it's an amazing thing. Like these people here, Brian and Misha and Body Illusion, and who else do we have here? Um, Misha,
Krista
Indigo,
may be driving.
Krista's driving. Yeah, Krista and Melinda's driving.
Yeah,
Uh, Crystal is here. Daniel made a show here. So yeah, we've got a wonderful group of people. I love this group of people.
yeah,
But
because what happens is if people realize that if they go from the lifeboat onto some of the other channels that are all doing what the lifeboat is doing, they're all doing connection in
yeah,
one way or the other. Then if we realize that when we go into them, it's like walking into a room where you know your friends.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
know
walking
them.
into the local cafe going, "Hey guys, I'm here."
Everybody knows your name. We remember that from Cheers,
Yep.
right? you know, and
Oh,
you
hey,
walk in and go,
Body
"Oh,
Illusion's
I
here
know
too,
her and I
Shadow.
know this person."
Okay. I don't think I have that one. I'll have to go back and do it. So I'm just going to write this down.
I think I'm subscribed.
I might be subscribed,
I think
but
I am.
hang on. I don't know why, but I can't click on the. Oh, yeah, I'm subscribed to Sandy Wandy. I'm subscribed to Indigo. I'm subscribed to, I think, everybody here except Daniel, because I'm not sure what he. Oh, maybe I am. But Body Illusion, I'm pretty sure I'm not
Yes,
subscribed to
I'm
you, my
subscribed.
friend.
I think.
Love the kitty. Oh, no, I don't know if you've messed it up. It's just,
Yeah,
I.
that's what I'm having problems with too.
Okay.
There, that may work. Mary to the rescue. I was having problems doing it too. It wouldn't
No,
let me do it right.
it's not letting me. It's just probably when I go in at like
Try the one that I put
in
up.
the replay. I did.
Yeah. Oh,
I
okay.
click here and it
When you
just goes
watch
on
the
screen.
replay.
Yeah, when I watch the replay, I'm certain it'll just go straight there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There are certain things, certain powers that you have as the host, and then things you have no control over.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
So,
Uh,
I look back at this year and I think I'm never going to go without connection again. There's sometimes I
no.
need a breather from it, but that old link, that old tape that went through my head said nobody wants to be my friend. That's not even doesn't even play anymore.
Yeah.
That stopped playing months ago. And am I everybody's cup of tea? Is Kim everybody's? No. But we're all in this together. And one thing I've even said on my channel recently is if you have a story that you want to tell, email me. We'll
Yeah,
figure out a way to talk because everybody has a
absolutely.
story and everybody can learn something from everybody's story. I there was a living my best life. I was on her channel yesterday and we talked for 3.5 hours.
Oh my word.
Outside of
Wow.
connecting with the chat, I have never met her other than through this. And we
Wow.
talked like we had been friends forever. It was
Yeah.
wonderful. And it's what it comes down to. It comes down to connection. I know if I'm going through a difficult time, I can message Kim and say, "Hey, I got to talk." And I've done it.
Absolutely. Yes.
I've done it in the mix of tears, and
Oh,
she knows
and
she
you
can
know
call
what?
me.
I have no problem with that. Exactly. And I can call you. I've got Lisa. I've got Indigo. I've got Misha. I've got Crystal. I've got so many people. 99% of them I didn't know, a year ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just incredible.
And that's what I'm
Incredible.
hoping to do because what'll happen in the Facebook group with the cookies is I can go in there because I'm the admin in there and we can do lives. And so those
Mhm.
people within the Facebook group can now start connecting. They can be
Mhm.
putting posts up and they can have that whole 10 months before we're putting in anybody else to
Mhm.
foster those relationships and have those relationships happen within the group that nobody else is going to be either nobody else is going to be in that group except for people that submitted recipes. And
Yeah.
at the end of all this, if we can go ahead and help somebody be able to donate to the Gary Sinise Foundation, be able to help
Mhm.
Broken Hearts Ministry that's helping to help the homeless, that's wonderful. And it
Yeah.
is I talked about it the other day as we talk about transitions, not transitions, traditions. It's
Ah,
also another part of connection.
yeah.
And
Yes,
so
absolutely.
this will be a tradition on our channel, and we're doing,
Mhm.
if I can reach them. We are also doing these,
Oh,
the
shoeboxes.
shoe boxes. So, hi,
Yes.
Alfonso.
Hello,
So
Alfonso.
this is another tradition. Now, I did find out through the Amish
Yeah.
country yesterday, the store that we went to, we can get the boxes from them and we can actually drop them off. And we drop them off to them. But I will get my boxes from them or from whatever next year. But Um, we're gonna do this. There's we did Linktree recently, which put all of our links in one place, and there's
Mhm.
a Samaritan's Purse list if
Mhm.
anybody wants to ship anything to us of things that we can start putting in the boxes, and it's gonna stay up all year long, so we can just start
Mhm.
a bin of things that we can start filling boxes, and it would be awesome. This year we're filling 2 because that's what
Okay.
our channel wanted. If next year we can fill 4, and next year we can fill 6, and next year we and every year we can grow more and more boxes that we're filling. What a
Absolutely.
great tradition, because if we
Yeah.
realize some of these kids, this is all they get for Christmas is
Okay,
what's in
now
this box.
some people watching this will not know about Operation Christmas Child. Please tell them what it is that you are putting together and why and how.
Well, Operation I went the reason I picked this one is because I've done something similar. Our church
Hmm.
did it in Cincinnati, but it is run by Billy Graham's son. I forgot what
Hmm.
his first name is.
Franklin.
Um, yeah, Franklin
Franklin Graham.
Graham.
Yeah.
I went to school with Billy Graham's granddaughter, Jerusha.
Oh,
And her last name was Chilingarian, or not Chilingarian. Uh, I can't think of it. What it is? It's a very long name. But anyway, I went to school with. Hi Cosmic. I went to
wow. Hey,
school with
Cosmic.
uh, Jerusha, and
Mm.
then our our youth pastor married Jerusha. They're now not married at this time, but they were. And so I have a little history with that. And I remember walking with my grandmother someplace, and she said to me, she said, you couldn't really tell. She said, "That's Billy Graham. Do you want to go up and meet him?" And I said, "No, I don't want to bother him." And I really wish I had gone up and met him,
Yeah.
because I know he would have loved that.
He
But
would never have minded at
but
all.
when Christina was a tiny baby and I came back and, you know, needed to be underneath my parents' wing for a little bit, when I
Hmm.
took Christina to church the first time, um, I was holding her in my arms, and my dad, who knew Jerusha's father, came went over to him and said, "You've got to go see my granddaughter. You got to go see." He would not leave. And I forgot his name, his side, till he went over, and saw, Christina. And so his Billy Graham's son-in-law and daughter came to our church. So there's a
Wow.
connection there. So
That's
Operation
cool.
Samaritan's Purse, you put items, and they have a whole list of items, and you put it
Hmm.
in the shoebox.
And there's a whole list of items you cannot
That
send.
Yes,
So that's
there's
just as
some that
important
you
to
can't.
know as stuff that you can,
Yes,
right?
and I think on I do have a thing, and unfortunately, my computer was not agreeing with me that day. So,
Hmm.
I do in that video they called "Let's Fill the Shoebox," I
Hmm.
have, one a list of the boys and the girls list that goes in there. So and things that you can't fill. So my mom has been going on Amazon and placing things in the Samaritan's Purse, box, and
Hmm.
putting things in there to place in here. So we're gonna
Right.
place this in here. We're gonna go take it. There's a local drop box here. There's also one down where we were in Walnut Creek, and
Hmm.
we're gonna take this. They're going to then, uh, deliver it. I think we can keep track of where it goes, but we
It's
can
possible.
just yes, to be able to keep track of where it actually goes, so we know where the
Right.
boxes are going. This is going.
I just the link I just put in there is Samaritan's Purse. It automatically took me to the
Yeah,
Canada site, but if you link it or if you
yeah,
check it, you can get to this site of your own
yeah.
country, whether it's Australia or if it's US or whatever.
And then, I just had it went in my head and it went out. Um,
Sorry.
no, it's just I'm gonna think about it in a minute. It went in and then went out. Um, so we'll drop those that we'll fill them, 2 of the boxes. We're gonna do one for a boy, I think it's 5 to 9, and one for
Yep.
a girl that's 10 to 14. But I
Okay.
just thought that these were something that when I saw them and I was sitting in Hobby Lobby and I was looking at them, I thought, "Should I? Should I?" I decided to. I didn't know that Walnut Creek did it down in the Amish country, but now I
All
know.
right.
Um, but I thought, let's start a tradition. Let's start a project
Yeah.
on, let's start a project on our channel. And Cosmic Billy Graham was a very much of an influential evangelist.
Hmm.
Um, he was a sweet man.
Hmm.
I never met him, but Jerusha did get married in our church. I mean, there's a connection there. A very sweet family. Um, and I remember a story of Billy Graham one time, and it was from Kathy Gifford. And she said that he was coming because they were going to do a whole thing on the Christmas special, and they
Mm.
wanted Billy Graham to read the you know the the story about Jesus and the manger scene. And they
Mm-hmm.
were just busy doing things, and they were a little tied up. And she said, "Well, just sit right here." She said, "Mr. Graham." He said, "No, call me Billy." And she said, "Is there anything that I can get you?" And he looked at her and he said, "You mean anything?" And she said, "Yes, just name it." He said, "I want a Big Mac, please." And so
Cool.
she sent her husband, Frank, and they went and got, I don't know what the McDonald's did. They went and got 100 Big Macs for everybody on the set that was there
Oh
and
my
came back,
word.
and she said he was sitting in his little chair eating his Big Mac as happy as could be. And I told that story to Christina. She said,
Love
"Is there,
it.
I mean, I can get anything I want." He sat
Up
there
to
eating
half
the
of my
Big Mac.
kingdom. Yes.
And so he was a sweet man,
Yeah.
and his son, did it. But I there are children, and this is all they're getting for Christmas. Some of
Yeah.
them will go out of the country to other third world countries that Samaritan's Purse is in, but
Mm-hmm.
there's some that when they open this box, this is all they're getting for Christmas, and they're excited for toothpaste, toothbrush, no toothpaste, but toothbrush and a
Yeah. No
hairbrush
toothpaste.
and a
Nothing edible
yeah,
because it can go bad.
blanket. Yes. So
No makeup, so like no mascara or even
yes,
lip gloss, lip balm, nope, because it can melt. And a lot of these young people who might get, we would think, oh, it's fun for my
yeah,
6 year old to get a little bit of lip gloss and something to
yeah,
play with. 6 year olds in many other countries, they get lip gloss, they get makeup, they get sold. No,
yeah,
not the makeup getting sold. Yeah.
yeah. And
So
I have a
there are
PO
things that
box.
you have to be, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a PO box. If anybody wants to send a personal letter, I can go ahead and
Hmm.
put it in these boxes for a boy and one for a girl. And, it's just something else that our channel can do that's giving back. It's a project, and then it becomes a tradition. I
Hmm.
talked about that recently on our channel, and, if we think about the cookie recipes, a lot of them come from tradition of,
Exactly.
doing it from history to history. And as I was talking about different traditions that I grew up with, I started
Hmm.
remembering, I almost forgot that, um, when I was growing up, we used to fill sandbags or little, the brown lunch pail bags that you would put the lunch in, you
Right.
know, and we would put sand in it, and we would put a candle. I almost forgot we did this. My
Yeah.
grandmother lived on a circle, and all of the neighborhoods that had circle neighborhoods that had, like, 6 homes, the clusters, they would
Hmm.
all do these bags, and they would put them out Christmas Eve and line them up all the way around. I almost totally forgot about that.
Hmm.
And as I was sitting
Wow.
there talking about different traditions, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool next year to say, "You know what? In 2000, and then we've grown to X amount of people and community people within our community, and now we can fill 4, and now we
Hmm.
can fill even more, and it's helping a
Hmm.
little kid that this is maybe all they get for
Yep.
Christmas." So,
Our church does those Samaritan's Purse boxes every year. One year, I think we have a church of, we live in a teeny town. We have about 100 people who go to our church, and we had 120, I think, boxes. Like it filled the front, all of these boxes. And then a couple people from our church go to Calgary, which is the sorting center for Western Canada for Samaritan's Purse. And so they went to the sorting stations, and you know how some boxes will have tons of stuff in it and some will have
yeah,
like little.
yeah,
So they actually go through the boxes, and yeah, your stuff may not make it to like all to one child,
yeah,
but that means that one child is not going to go without because this child got a ton, right?
yeah,
So they're trying to make it a little more equitable, which is nice. And then they make a video every year.
yeah,
And I heard a story about a lady who had put together her package, and she had it in a special box and had like elastic wrapped around it so it wouldn't get fall apart. And she's like, "That's my box. That's my box. I sent that box." And it was to somebody in Serbia.
Yeah.
Like, just like Mary said, these are children who are not,
Yeah.
they're not getting nothing for nowhere. Like, they'll go
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Ukraine, they'll go to Portugal, they'll go to places in Africa, they'll go to places in South America, like, just the dirt poorest
Yeah.
people that you can imagine are the ones who get these blessings.
And we tried to put things on the Samaritan's Purse wish list
Yep.
that were most of them, some of them were no, most of them were under 20, most of them were under 10, and most of
Yep.
them were in bulk items. And the
Yep.
reason for that is so that, like, when we did pencils, we got 6 pencils, and
Right.
we did, 6 nail clippers, and you know
Hmm.
brushes. We didn't do that with, because we did ones with, like, print girl and boy and stuff like that. But
Right.
we try to
Yeah.
make things in bulk so that if there's things sent and they all don't make it, we're going to start a box that we can start putting things in. And so when this comes next year, we'll be ahead of the game.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
we already have, within the super chats and uh, between everything, we have $30 already to start filling them. So
Nice.
you know, there's if people send a super chat, or they gift memberships and they say, "Would you please put that towards the boxes when we're live?" Then we go ahead
Hmm.
and do that, and then that way it goes right directly, you know, to to the boxes. So we're trying
Yeah.
to do it that way, as well as people that can just go on Amazon and send whatever's in the Amazon wish for
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. There's the local food bank to my community, is in a very, like, it's about 20-30 minutes away from where I live. But at Christmas time especially, they'll say, okay, we want a food item, but also give us an unwrapped gift, a new unwrapped toy or something for a child, because they've had people come in, and I I tear up just thinking about it. One dad came in and there was a pack of gum. He's like, "Can I get 3?" And she's like, "Okay." He says, "Yeah, I have 3 daughters and that's what they're getting for Christmas is a pack of gum." So she's like,
Well,
"No, no,
I
no, no.
decided.
Come with me into this other room." And this other room was full of toys. He's like, "I can take something for each of my girls?" "Yeah, yeah, please do. We want them to see the magic of community, of Christmas, of connection, like what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Just incredible." So yeah, if
Well,
doing a
the
shoebox is not something you can
this
do,
one.
check with your local food bank.
Yeah. Our neighborhood is collecting cans, and we're gonna go through our pantry and give things. Don't, guys,
Yeah.
I've been in it where I've had to do it. Please don't give expired stuff. It's expired, throw it in the trash, or
Yep.
don't do it. I have received boxes with expired things in it, and if you have things in your pantry that you want to get canned foods as they're doing drives, check the expiration date so that you're giving things that people can actually use, because I go through going, I can't use half the stuff because it's all expired and I don't want to take a chance. So
Well,
just pay
that
attention
and
to what your expiration dates are.
that's right. And I think by law here, they're not allowed to distribute it if it's past, I think, 6 months past the due date, depending on what it is. If it's a canned item, it was due October of 2024, and it's now November 2024. They'll say, okay, yeah, we'll give you that little bit. That's not a problem. But, there are cutoffs and they're there for a reason.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the shoe boxes in memory, always will be, of my grandmother. My grandmother lived over in Scotland. She was there during the war, and I remember her telling me that if they didn't have enough, there was hot water bottles that went underneath their blankets, because they would have, the money over in Scotland, and they would have a box. And if they didn't have enough money to put in the box,
Mm-hmm.
then they didn't get the heat turned on. And when there was
Mm-hmm.
Christmas one year, they got 1 doll. Now
Mm-hmm.
my great-grandmother had to save up all year to buy this 1 doll for these 3 girls to share. Now, I don't agree necessarily with what my great-grandmother did, but she wanted to teach her children how to share, and my grandmother would give the shirt off her back. and she always loved children. She gave to St. Jude. She just would love what we're doing with the shoe boxes. So it will
Mm-hmm.
always be Annie Arabs's memory. And I'll never forget. She said, "The mother sat us all in front of the fire, and we would not share this one doll. And she was going to teach her daughters that you're going to share." She took that doll that she had worked all year long and she put it in the fire, and we had to sit and watch it burn and we learned how to share after that. But I thought they didn't get 3 dolls, they got 1. And my great grandmother had to scrimp and save for everything to provide for her children and her family.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in the midst of a war. And so this will always be in her donation. And I don't know if did you see the Blind movie? The
The Blind?
Phil
No, I
Robertson
haven't seen that
stories?
about the
Yeah,
Robertson family.
you have
No,
to
I
see
haven't
that.
seen that. Yeah.
I want you all to realize if you watch that movie, there's a scene where he goes up to the Christmas tree, and I had that happen. I was a single mom. I had the angel tree happen, and it was a godsend for me. And he went up to the Christmas tree, and Mrs. K said, "No, we're fine. We don't need that." He said, "Mama, can't I just have one thing?" And I think it wasn't Will, it was the other boy, and I can't remember his name now. And the one that starts with Jace, I think that was who it was. And he said, "Can I have one?" And he got one of the little things that make a noise and go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
A
whistle,
whoopee
and you take
whistle.
it and you take the
Yeah.
little handle and you go in and out. And
Yeah.
yeah, and he was going around doing this. And when Phil came back and they started to try to make things work and he was not going to be drinking anymore, his son was doing that. And he said, "Wait a minute." And he took that from that angel tree and fixed it. And that's where he first came up with his first duck whistle. And do we
Oh,
imagine where they are
wow.
now?
Oh, yeah.
And that was so you have no idea how you're going to
Wow.
impact a
Absolutely.
child or a mother that's a single mother that goes, "I can't afford anything. I get gift
In our
certificates
town,
for
we
gift
have
cards."
in our town at the town office, they have a Christmas tree with elderly people's names on it. And these elderly people are either shut-ins or they are single and don't have a lot of connection. They're just people who are lonely. They're like, okay, let's get this person a pair of mitts. Let's get this person a toque. Let's get this person so on and so forth. So
There
yeah,
was a
that
little
just
there
is,
was a little there was a little
yeah, it doesn't
girl
have to
that
be
went
huge.
around there was a little girl that went around a nursing home, my mom told her, and said to everybody, "What do you want?" And she said she was expecting these big things. And somebody
Hmm.
wanted a candy bar, and somebody else wanted
Yeah,
this, and somebody she started a foundation to make sure that these people that were in nursing homes got exactly what they wanted,
yeah,
which was amazing. It wasn't major stuff. It was just
no,
little stuff.
yeah.
At the end of the day, let's show people that we care about them and care about the
Hmm.
connections and relationships that we're establishing. And if we can
Hmm.
do that through cookies, what better way to do?
Absolutely. And if the worst thing I ever have to do is write down a recipe for a cookie and send it in to a friend, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to me in my life, that's pretty awesome.
Well, I think if
So,
the form is working out so well, when we start
mhm,
next year with people that want to send in recipes that we can put up, either we can make and we can put up in the channel, or we could just
mhm,
come on and talk about them and putting them up on videos and so forth.
mhm,
Then if the form's working great, then I'll just I won't change it, but I'll just make another form, and that can be a real easy
mhm,
way for people to send in recipes that we would never think of.
exactly. And traditions and traditional foods from different places in the country, in the
Yes.
world, like just it's incredible what we can share,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And share a lot. I hope you're not getting a cold.
Actually, I think
Oh,
I am. And just as we're going, my voice is starting to get a little lower, a little lower, a little lower. So if it's been about an hour, I'm going
yes.
to shut us down because I need to go get something to drink and maybe, I don't know, some neocitrin or something.
Please
But
take care of yourself, my friend. You're
I
perfect for
will.
the holidays, though, with the red
I
rose.
know, with the red nose,
Yeah,
honey, I
perfect.
am there. Thank you, Mary, for talking
You're
about this.
welcome.
It's a
Thank
wonderful
you.
thing you're doing, my friend. I love
Thank you.
it. Love, love,
Thank
love
you.
it. So go find the link in the chat, go to Mary's channel, take a look at what the form is that we need to do that. Oh boy. In Colorado, there's a major outbreak of E. coli that started at a local McDonald's. So please pray for people in Colorado right now. Absolutely. The ones, hearts, hugs, and loves. Send it all for Colorado right now. So yes. Okay, everybody.
Yep.
Have a great night. If you want to have a peek at the theme song that Misha has made for me, watch last week's or the show number 85. It's Misha talking about agoraphobia, and on there she unveiled this amazing song that she put together for me. I can't wait till it's ready to be unveiled as a permanent feature on my channel.
Awesome.
I'm not excited at all. I'm cool. Yeah. Anyway, have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Talk to you
Thank you for
later.
everybody's
Okay.
support.
All right. Bye-bye.